Wow. Hey there. Welcome back. It's time once again for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved coffee table book that I've had for almost 2 decades, and I'm going to use its intended purpose. I'm going to read a page a day so we can talk about comic books. I love comic books. If you're tuning in right now, chances are you do too. And maybe you miss those comic book conversations that we used to have all the time at our local comic book stores and shops. You could pop in on a Wednesday or any day. Wednesday used to be new release day. So it was always good to pop into your LCS, your local comics shop, and pick up your stack or your subscription. And while you're there, get into a conversation with other geeks and the cashiers who also pretty much are the big brains in fandom when it comes to, knowing all this esoteric stuff and this love that we have for these characters. So let's have some of that comic books talk. I love it. I miss it. Let's see what we got today. All right. Today's April 7th. Hello, everybody. Oh, cool. This is what we do. We look at the art, we read the blurb, and then we elaborate and talk about comic books for a little bit. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. And 3 o'clock p.m. U.S. Eastern. Doesn't matter if it's daylight savings or not. Yeah, you can be here. I will be here with you. And so this is the Green Lantern of the Golden Age. Yes, the mysterious Alan Scott. And it's April 7th. Let's read the blurb. This panel is from All American Comics number 23, published February of 1941, making it before the United States entering World War II. And that would be on the Pacific side too, as well. This is story by Bill Finger and art by E. Hibbard. Dun dun dun. Here is the Green Lantern doing what he does best, using the power of his ring to defeat the forces of evil. The only problem is that he didn't get around to rounding up these thugs in time to stop their boss and the heroine's father from shooting each other. Then again, that means the world will never know that movie star Delia Day had an old crook for a dad, which was seemingly someone's idea of a happy ending. And I'm going to read the narrative caption and the voice bubbles in this panel. And I'm going to do it in my Ted Knightish narrator voice of superheroes. Racing swiftly about the thugs, he causes a dazzling blaze of light to come from the magic ring and trail behind him.
Hey, he's free. What's he doing? Hey!
There we go. And it's Green Lantern saving the day and thwarting petty crime and righting wrongs. And this Green Lantern was reinvented in 1959 in the Silver Age. Now remember that the Golden Age of DC Comics runs from 1938, the first appearance of Superman, introducing the world of superheroes, to 1955. 1956 is the debut of the Silver Age Flash, Barry Allen, and it changes these Golden Age characters into something a bit different. In 1959, the Green Lantern was reinvented. And then it was test pilot Hal Jordan who was selected by the ring because he had no fear and he had willpower. And then Hal Jordan finds out that he's one of 3,600 different space cops, all patrolling a different sector of the galaxy. And you can make anything out of this ring that you can imagine and will with hard photons or whatever the pseudoscience is. I love these stories because it appeals to your imagination. And nothing appeals to the imagination more than the Green Lantern ring and what you can do with it. One of my favorite Green Lantern quotes is from the early 2000s when Judd Winnick was writing the Kyle Rayner years. And Green Lantern Kyle Rayner explains to the rest of the Justice League on a rooftop, "You know, I can split an atom with this thing." "You know, I can split an atom with this thing." "Yeah, in brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern light." I'm a big Green Lantern fan. I really am. Have been since I was a kid. I loved seeing him on the Super Friends. But that's a different Green Lantern. We're talking about the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott. And I knew Alan Scott from the 70s. They had what was it? The All-Star Squadron, I believe. And then when I was 11, was issue 1 of Infinity Incorporated. And that was a big deal because it was on Baxter paper. It was a $1.25 in the 60, 65, 75 cent era. And that was a huge difference. I was 11 years old and I got issue 1 and I was a reader for a few years, for the first few years. You know, it kind of got derailed by Crisis on Infinite Earths because Infinity Incorporated was a next generation tale set on Earth 2, the Golden Age Earth of DC Comics. It's how we differentiate between the Golden Age Earth of superheroes and the Silver Age Earth of superheroes, and why we have such a difference in Green Lanterns and Flashes and Atoms, and so it goes. Infinity Incorporated were the children and the nieces and nephews of these Golden Age people. And so Alan Scott had a huge role having 2 children in Infinity Incorporated. Obsidian, his son, Todd, who is the negation of light and is like a living shadow. Really cool superpower, especially in contrast to what his dad's power is, like, you know, a light bearer. And then his daughter, Jenny Lynn Hayden, aka Jade, who had green skin and was a supermodel, beautiful woman. Yet she had the power of the Green Lantern inside of her. And it's been called the Star Heart. It's been called this and that over the years. But, and then there was Power Girl. There was Brainwave Jr. There was the Silver Scarab, who was the son of Hawkman. And then there was Fury, who is Wonder Woman's daughter. And so Silver Scarab and Fury actually play heavily into Neil Gaiman's The Sandman a little later on in the late 80s and early 90s. But yeah, Alan Scott, he had this great look with this red shirt, purple cape, and it's just this classic Green Lantern look. They've tried to tinker with that look a few times. The only successful one I've seen it's called the Emerald Knight look, and it's from Mark Waid and Alex Ross's Kingdom Come. And this is a great scene because there's limitations to his power, which is great. So Alan Scott needs to recharge his ring off the lantern in a timely fashion, but also he has a weakness to wood. So something wood can disrupt anything Alan Scott creates with his ring. Similarly, in a similar fashion, the Green Lantern Silver Age and beyond had a weakness to the color yellow. Just great little, kryptonites for these characters. So Alan Scott got recreated a few times. There was the New 52 in 2011. And they've been able to change his character along the way, retcon things about his character, try to add to this long-running character. And so currently, I believe he's an elder statesman of the superheroes, and he's still in active duty, and a man beyond his middle age, still being vibrant and contributing to his culture and saving lives and mattering in the world. So, and also, they, I want to go on and risk, a joke, a well-meaning joke. Because since 2011, they've changed his sexuality. They made who was formerly heterosexual, Alan Scott, who married one of his arch nemesis and had 2 kids who were unknown to him too, because story. Yet, but now he's come out of the closet. Good for you, man. Sure. But yet, I'm like, I just have the worst jokes and the worst processing in my head. And now I'm like, now that completely explains his weakness to wood. Oh my gosh. I really cracked the bat on that one. It splintered, huh? Oh my God. My bark is worse than my bite. He's punning. Oh no. But no, I mean that nicely. I mean, it just, that's an old-fashioned attempt at humor. But today, it was April 7th. We have Green Lantern Alan Scott. We have speed lines. So the ring makes him almost as quick as the Flash, but, that's the Flash's gig, you know what I mean? But using the ring, the magic ring, it was magic powers back then, he saves the day. And thank you so much for tuning in to the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. Tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern and find out who we're talking about and what. And like and subscribe if you like this kind of material. I'm an ordained minister and an amateur theologian. We get spiritual on this channel. I talk a lot about gratitude and spirituality. I'm also a professional line cook. I make cooking videos. I have a playlist called What's Cooking. So tune in and get some cooking hacks so you can share with your loved ones some delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're a comic books lover, so am I, you come to the right place. Give us a subscribe and a like. Thank you so much. God bless. Namaste.